The first light of dawn stretched across the savanna like a slow breath, revealing the vastness of a world that never rushed yet never stopped. In that pale, golden awakening, an elephant moved with a rhythm older than the wind. Each step pressed into the earth with a patient certainty, as though the land itself waited respectfully for the foot to rise again. It was a walk that didn't demand attention but naturally commanded it. Not through speed, not through power, through presence. The elephant did not hurry. It had never done anything in haste. Life had taught it long ago that time worked differently for those who understood their purpose. And so, the elephant walked. Around it, the world existed in cycles of frantic movement, gazelles darting across the plains, birds bursting from trees, predators sprinting in brief explosions of force. But the elephant moved in a steady, deliberate flow that seemed untouched by the rush of others. It walked because the walk itself was its story, its heritage, its quiet truth. The morning air carried distant echoes, calls, wing beats, rustling grasses, but nothing swayed its pace. The elephant understood something the others sometimes forgot: nothing meaningful was built in haste. The path to legacy was carved through steady steps that never stopped, no matter how long the journey felt. Ahead lay a stretch of ancient ground, dotted with trees that wore their age like dignified cloaks. The elephant approached them not as a passerby but as a guardian returning home. Its tusks gleamed like pale crescents, catching the sun as if they were holding pieces of dawn itself. Dust rose gently with each step, drifting around its legs and settling again in soft spirals. The herd had gone ahead earlier, following a river path to a distant watering ground, but the elephant had chosen a different route. Not out of weakness, not out of slowness, out of purpose. There were places it still needed to visit, footprints it still needed to leave. As it approached one such place, a memory seemed to stir around it, woven into the earth. The tree standing before it was old, older than storms, older than footprints. The trunk curved in a slow bend where lightning had once kissed it, but it still stood firm. The elephant touched the bark with its forehead, a gesture of respect for a companion that had silently witnessed many seasons. The breeze shifted. Dry grass danced. In that moment, a younger elephant appeared at the crest of a distant ridge, rushing, searching, confused. It moved in quick bursts of energy, its ears flapping, dust swirling around its frantic steps. The young one had lost the herd's trail. It stopped and trumpeted, a sound edged with fear. The older elephant listened but did not rush. Instead, it lifted its trunk, letting the air carry scents that painted an invisible path. The young elephant's panic was loud, but its breathing was louder. Short, uneven breaths that revealed a heart overwhelmed by urgency. The old one stepped forward, slow and steady. Each movement radiated calm. Each step carried a message: follow pace, not panic. The young elephant saw the older one's steady form and hurried toward it, but the elder signaled it to slow. The young one hesitated, then matched the rhythm of the elder's steps, though awkwardly at first. Together they walked toward the horizon, the slow movement shaping a path that felt suddenly clearer. The earth no longer seemed overwhelming to the young one. The fear receded with each steady footfall. Along their path, herds of antelope dashed past, fleeing from a distant predator. The young elephant flinched at the whirlwind of motion, ready to break formation and run out of instinct. But the older elephant kept its pace. Not defiant, just unwavering. The young one watched. And slowly, its heartbeat settled. The predator never approached them. It didn't need to. Elephants walking slow were not targets, They were obstacles in the landscape of danger. They were presence. They were certainty. A flock of starlings erupted from the grass, swirling like black smoke in the sky. The young elephant thought it meant trouble and tensed. The older one kept walking. The sky calmed. The flock moved on. Nothing happened. Step by step, lesson by lesson. Hours passed, though neither measured them. The sun climbed and fell in long arcs, turning the savanna into a canvas of changing colors, gold in the morning, white at noon, crimson in the late hours. By the time they reached the edge of a dry riverbed, the young elephant had adapted to the slower rhythm. It no longer felt unnatural. It felt grounding. But a new challenge waited. On the far side of the riverbed, dust rose from the movement of a group of animals, warthogs, scattering from something unseen. The air vibrated with tension. The young elephant froze. The older elephant stopped as well, not out of fear but out of understanding. Danger didn't always require speed. Sometimes, it required clarity. From the far brush, a lion appeared, not sprinting, not attacking, just watching. Assessing. Waiting. The young elephant's muscles tensed again, panic rising. The older one stepped forward, not fast, not loud, but firm. The lion watched. The elephant continued, the slow rhythm almost eerie in its composure. There was no threat in the movement, but there was no weakness either. The lion blinked once, then turned away. Not scared, but acknowledging. The young elephant felt something shift inside itself, an understanding of presence, of grounded confidence that didn't need force to be respected. Slow did not mean weak. Slow meant deliberate. Slow meant aware. Slow meant unstoppable. They crossed the riverbed and continued up a gentle rise toward a plateau. The climb was long and tiring, especially with the sun leaning into its descent. The young elephant began to falter. Its breathing grew heavier. The older elephant paused and placed its trunk lightly over the young one's head. A gesture of reassurance. A reminder, legacy was not built in leaps. It was built in steps. So, they walked again. Slow. Steady. The wind softened. Shadows lengthened. The day prepared to sleep. When they finally reached the plateau, the view opened like a secret being revealed. Below them, stretching across the far valley, the herd glimmered like scattered stones of silver and gray. Safe. Together. Waiting without worry, the young elephant trumpeted softly, relief spilling through its voice. But the older elephant didn't look at the herd first. It looked at the path behind them, long, winding, shaped by countless steps. The dust they had raised still hung faintly in the air, caught in the last strips of sunlight. The journey itself had carved a story, one that would remain on the land long after they passed. Only then did the older elephant continue toward the herd. At the foot of the plateau, the youngest calves ran toward them, greeting them with excited chirps and high-pitched calls. The young elephant now walked among them with a steadiness that hadn't existed before. A steadiness borrowed. A steadiness learned. As night approached, the stars began to appear, slowly, patiently, just like the elephant's walk. Each star lit the sky one at a time until the darkness transformed into a cloak of shimmering dots. The older elephant lifted its head toward the constellations. Not in awe, but in recognition. A legacy was like a star, it didn't need to outshine others. It just needed to shine consistently. And so, as the herd settled into the quiet night, the older elephant took one more slow step, pressing its weight into the earth with the same ancient rhythm. One step, one mark, one legacy, and the world quietly reshaped itself around it.